Yes, well, of course, Benjamin was a first class honours in computer science, and yes, my memory serves me correctly. I think he was first headhunted by IBM, and he worked with IBM for several years, and he worked in, I don't know, in Vancouver, in British Columbia. He was there for several years, but anyway, eventually he got again headhunted, but this time with British Aerospace, and I understand shut up! Well, a very good evening on the 5th day of July, 26. Yes, another day has passed, Andy. 24 hours have disappeared into space, and with these passing 24 hours, it's hours you will never get again in your life. Never again will they appear. They're gone. And when you start to look back on all these hours, it becomes more and more important that for every 5 minutes you've got in life that you think is spare, they're not. I mean, it's only a part of an hour, 5 minutes, isn't it? It's 5 valuable minutes, 5 valuable minutes that you sit staring at your bloody mobile phone for something. I hate these mobile phones, these smartphones. All this new thing that they've got for enhanced security for every damn thing. You got not only got to put your passcode in, but you've got to put the other numbers in as well for every damn thing you try to do. And it's constant. And I reckon that's probably where most of my time goes, is bloody numbers. There's only 9 numbers. Well, if you don't count 0, of course, but there's only 9. And at some stage, they must get to a point where they've used every combination of these 9 numbers for something. So I wouldn't be surprised that people have got repeat PIN numbers and repeat passwords all over the globe. They have to be, because 9 number combinations can only produce so many different numbers. I haven't checked how many it's possible, but it will be several million, but it looks like that's His Majesty is passing the Range Rover. One of the estate owners, he's not Lord Cadogan from along that way. He's passing his big Range Rover. He's normally down in London. In fact, it's up on the slopes of Milky Way, which look quite darkened in this camera light, I'm afraid. Up to the back, there's actually a signpost, which is a duplicate from, is it Cadogan Square? Cadogan in southwest London. Wimbledon, I think it is. And it's halfway up the damn hill. So when you walk up, you come across this sign that's got no place being there, but would have if you were wandering a certain avenue in southwest London. That's where he spends most of his time. But I noticed with his registration number, it's in the big silver. Well, it's not even silver, it's not one of these cheap Range Rovers, it's one of these slate blue top of the range damn things. Anyway, I wanted to speak to him, but he drove past quite quickly, so I didn't have a chance to get... If I'd been standing sort of staring at space, he might have given me a wave or something. And then the other lordship that owns that house over there, he's never there either. He's always in the high seas. He's always... I think he's been about 25 world cruises. And he's in the last 15 years. Which you can't blame the chap for. I mean, I would do exactly the same. But it's a big house to be lying empty all the time. Well, it's not entirely empty. There are watch people on to the estates. In fact, half the time I'm here, there's always a telescope aimed at you from some direction. I know that. Even if it's just a short period to say, oh, it's him again. What did he do sitting there all the time, staring into space? But as I say frequently on the channel, it's much more appealing to me sitting watching the grasses, bending in the wind. Look at these ones. You can understand why they don't have a hairdresser up here in Crieff. I mean, I can't imagine anything more miserable for a female as to spend some time in the hairdressers, gossiping, of course, tittle-tattle, gossip, tea or coffee, or decaf, please. Well, if you're middle class, it would be decaf, but the rest of you, it'll just be, yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee, please. Sugar? No, I'm trying to lose weight. Well, I was going to say something else there, but in fact, I was in Vietnam. I had to go in for cigarette papers because it's the only place that you get 8 packets for £1. And the girl in front of me, she was quite large. And I'm not being disrespectful, I'm not, because I thought about this, at that moment in time. I thought, well, who am I to judge? I'm not judging the person's weight or her actions or her choice in products. But what I was thinking about is, if she maybe talks to friends and says, I'm concerned about my weight. And one of the friends maybe say it's probably hereditary. There's nothing you can do about it. If you want to go to slimming classes and spend all that money, that's up to you. All these fab diets. Well, what I would suggest is, because I couldn't help notice, because the checkout girl said, oh hi Andy, while she was serving this customer, and I turned around, and I looked at the conveyor belt. It was bloody, it was nothing but chocolate. I mean, nothing but chocolate. It wasn't even good chocolate. It was that shite stuff. Crunchies. I only tasted a Crunchie maybe twice in my life, but I bought one in 1971. It was delicious. I didn't like the honeycomb scent, or not really. It was sweet. But the chocolate was all right. And I bought it, perhaps maybe on a nostalgic trip to the sweet shop. 1990, I think it was. And I said, I'll have a Crunchie. And I only ate about a quarter of it and thought, I'd have to go and see my dentist in the morning after eating a couple of nibbles of Crunchie. Get on with the story, Andy. Well, anyway, as I say, I'm not being judgmental, except I was in close, earshot of the assistant when she said to that, is that everything? And she says, that'll be £54.12. And as the girl was fumbling about in her purse to get her card out, I gave it a second glance to make sure I wasn't missing something. And I wasn't. It was all fucking chocolate. And I'm afraid her waistline was proof that it was mostly chocolate that she was eating. But again, I felt sad because I don't know the individual, I don't know her life circumstances. It may well be that she quite enjoys just sitting there at night time with a magazine or something and stuffing her face with chocolate buttons or something. Or Maltesers. I think there was Maltesers on. Yes, there was. With bloody boxes of this stuff. Although she's more likely not to be reading her magazine. In this day and age, nobody reads magazines, I don't think. More likely she'd be glaring at bloody Netflix or some other shite. But what were you talking about earlier on, Andy? She's got a bad habit of switching stories and losing the plot. I bet you can't remember what you were talking about a couple of minutes ago. Well, I'm going to say to you right now that the reason for that will be, I'm sorry, but we have the sun in the sign of Cancer at the moment. There's been a full moon in Capricorn just recently. The planets, the cloudy skies and all the rest of it. This is a typical Cancer sort of period where I'm talking about it's astrology sign Cancer. Well, we get this every bloody July, but it's this, constant watery sky, like a bloody watercolour. A very poor watercolour with the angle of my camera. Let me try and get a better view. Yes, I don't remember what I was talking about. Perhaps I might come back to something on this, whatever I was talking about, but I'm saying that because of the planetary aspects at the moment and the fact that Mercury's in full swing retrograde, I do have short-term memory problems, not dementia, but I can't even remember what I had for lunch on Thursday, for example. I don't think anyone does. I don't think, if you kept a journal, if you kept a diary about what you ate every day, well, that girl in the bloody B&M, if she kept a journal, she'd get a bloody shock of her life. She looked back the year and go, fucking hell, I've had 600 Crunchies and 46 boxes of Maltesers since April. Goodness me. Yeah, I felt I was getting a little bit off subject again, Annie. Well, that's normal for you, isn't it? Yes. But what I was meaning about, well, I gave myself 30 seconds to try and think about what I was talking about, and it came back to me. I do think that I mentioned Lord Cadogan's signage on the slopes of, I think I mentioned Milrima. If I did, that's incorrect. It should be Milnanfuren, of course, over there. And yes, I was talking about hairdressing, or hairdressers, and the reason there's none in Glenquake is because, well, coming out of the damn hairdresser with a perfect perm, or blue rinse. You never see people with blue rinses now, do you? It was all the rage in the, well, most elderly ladies I remember growing up had a tinge of blue in their hair, a blue rinse. I don't know what the purpose was. maybe it's because I didn't have hair dye at that time. Although there's nothing worse than seeing somebody with unnatural hair colour. It's very off-putting, I think. But no, what I meant was there's nothing worse for a female. I cover this in my Christmas book, which I wrote. But something about coming out of the hairdresser. Actually, there was a very good chapter that about the hairdressers, I remember. Spot on, very observant stuff. But what I meant was, you know, you sit down there. I don't know what it costs for a woman to get the hair cut nowadays. Or I don't think they get a haircut, Andy. It's a hairstyle they get. So they go to the stylist. They don't actually go for a haircut. It comes out looking the same every damn time, right enough, but that's probably why they're happy to say, oh, I've just had my hair styled. Well, it looks exactly the same as you had it yesterday. Just a bit shorter, that's all. Oh, no. But I think ladies nowadays, I think they pay anything from £50 to £60 or even up to £100 to bloody get their hair done. And the time they're spent in there, I don't know how much of the personal information they divulge to the hairdresser. But I could imagine there'd be quite a lot, you know. So what have you been up to today then? What's your plans later? Oh, you've got a dog. Oh, I didn't know you had a dog. Oh, what's its name? Did you take it for a walk far? All these bloody questions, like bloody Spanish Inquisition. And then what they don't know is after they've left the hairdresser, the hairstylist will, oh, do you know that person that just walked, you know that lady that just walked out there just now? Yeah, I didn't know she had a dog. Oh, has she? Well, what kind of dog she got? Bloody hell, that'll be the next gossiping bloody session for 20 minutes, you know. And then it'll be, you know, rinse, cut, repeat. When that lady goes out, you know, she goes down. That lady's telling me she's got diabetes. Has she? Oh. I'm fucking not joking either. That's why if you go to the hairdresser, never ever tell them anything. If I go to the barbers or the gents hairstylist, if they ask me any questions, I give them one-word answers. Have you been busy today? No. What's your plans for later? Not sure. And I kill conversation with them. I just let them do what they've got to do with my hair. In fact, I often think that the more they are involved in conversation, the less attentive they are for the job in hand, and they end up making a fucking mess. Shut up!